An ABC 17 Storm Track weather alert day is in effect for bone-chilly temperatures that are expected to stick around mid-Missouri.
And more snow could be on the way for tomorrow as well. Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner is tracking all the changes. Jessica, there's a chance you could issue another weather alert day for this weekend.
Yeah, just go ahead and prepare for it because we are going to be tracking some of our coldest temperatures in about 7 years. So if you remember back in 2014, that's kind of when we started talking about the polar vortex. It's always been there, but we've kind of been underneath that here for the last several days, and the influence of that polar vortex is going to continue for the rest of this week into the weekend and likely into next week too. So be used to the cold weather, but I do think the weekend is going to be significantly cooler, and then we're going to have a bit of a warm up into next week though. It's going to be a lot like today where we've had temperatures in the teens. Right now, most of us are in the single digits or about 2. That's what the wind chill is like in Columbia. It feels like 8 in Jefferson City and about 4 at Osage Beach. Overnight, we're going to be dropping just a couple more degrees. We have not changed temperature-wise much of the day thanks to cloud cover and wind staying below about 10 miles per hour. We're going to see a low near 12 in Columbia, and that's close to where we are now. Impacts into the morning, not expecting too much of a problem, but there could definitely still be some slick spots, especially on local and neighborhood roads. The highways and interstates have been in good shape tonight, but watch those ramps for some patchy, icy spots as it is going to continue to be very cold tomorrow. We're going to see high up to about 17 by late afternoon, and then we'll be dropping back down below that into the evening. Here's our future track for tomorrow. I'm expecting some snow showers, especially by morning. This is at 6 o'clock. Some of those sliding right along I-70. Better chance to see a little more accumulation is going to be along and north of I-70, specifically up in northeast Missouri from Macon to Paris, Mexico, and towards Vandalia. That's where we'll see a little bit more accumulation, possibly seeing a few snow showers into Thursday. But after that, that's when things really start to calm down, at least for the end of the week. But then I'll be tracking that major cool down for the weekend. You'll see that in my next forecast.
Turning now to the latest road conditions, the MoDOT Traveler map shows the majority of roads in mid-Missouri are mostly clear. That's the light blue you see on your screen. Right now, Boone County Road and Bridge has crews out working to clear streets. Here's a live look of conditions right now on those rural roads. Earlier today, the department told us they would have 10 routes around the county tonight with 1 person assigned to each route. Public Works employees are suggesting drivers stick to main roads for the safest routes. Boone County says it's used 400 tons of salt to treat the roads so far this year.
And then in Cole County, road crews will be monitoring overnight conditions due to the possibility of some refreezing. We're told that crews will report for work at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning to treat the roads before the morning commute. Now, even though a lot of the roads in Cole County are clear, officials are asking drivers to make sure you take it slow. And with temperatures being so low this week, health experts are warning of the dangers of cold exposure.
ABC 17 Sydney Olson is live in Columbia. Sydney, they're saying to watch out for frostbite or hypothermia outside, but also inside where there's no heat.
And Deb Lucas, as we just heard, we've seen temperatures in the single digits this week, and it's not over yet. One local doctor is warning people that frostbite can set in a matter of minutes if people are outside exposed to the cold. And experts say if you find the heat and your home goes out, it might not be safe to stay there either.
When we're dealing with really severe cold weather like we have right now, hypothermia can develop pretty quickly.
Dr. Christopher Sampson with MU Healthcare says people can also suffer from frostbite if they are out in the cold for too long. He says that often happens when people are doing something outside, distracting them from possible symptoms on fingers or other limbs, like fixing their car or shoveling snow.
First thing is they start getting numb, and that's where they may feel like they're not working as well as they normally do. And then the next steps are sometimes that they can become very painful, or that you completely will lose sensation.
Dr. Sampson and the Columbia Fire Department say if someone's heat goes out for an extended period of time, they should take shelter somewhere else. Houses and apartments will cool down differently depending on their size. But the fire department says people should not use space heaters for permanent heat or heat their homes using their ovens.
It increases your risk for carbon monoxide poisoning, and it's just not safe to have an open flame like that going for extended periods of time.
I checked in with Boone and University Hospital this afternoon. Luckily, neither of them have seen anyone come in seeking treatment for cold exposure, but Frazier says the department would not be surprised to see it later this week with temperatures staying so low. Reporting live in Columbia, Sydney Olson, ABC 17 News.
Dr. Sampson says the hospitals also start to see an increase in injuries from falls this time of year. And the cold weather is forcing cancellations at some mass vaccination clinics. Today, organizers postponed the Lake Regional Health Vaccination Clinic that was set for Sunday in Osage Beach. We're told more details about when that clinic will be rescheduled could be released tomorrow. Just north of Mid-Missouri, health leaders in Kirksville have also canceled their vaccination clinic for tomorrow. The Fulton and Boonville school districts will run on snow routes tomorrow. Jefferson City will also run on snow routes in Callaway County. Several Mid-Missouri school districts have canceled classes for tomorrow. You can find a complete list at abc17news.com.
And remember, our Weather Alert Day coverage continues tomorrow morning. Storm Track meteorologist Kevin Schneider will be tracking the bitterly cold temperatures. ABC 17 News this morning will air at a special time tomorrow starting at 4:30. Next week, the Biden administration will increase the nation's supply of coronavirus vaccines.
States will now be given 11 million doses each week. White House officials say the increase will aim to ensure the equitable distribution of doses. The chair of the Pandemic Equity Task Force announced today 1 million doses will be devoted to begin distribution to vaccines at 250 community health centers, which primarily care for low-income and uninsured individuals. The White House says that it hopes to increase the number of centers to more than 1,300 before summer. Pharmacies at Sam's Clubs and Walmarts will soon vaccinate people against the virus. The Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services says more than 80 locations across the state will start to give out doses on Friday. That includes several in mid-Missouri. Columbia's 3 Walmarts and Sam's Club will be offering the service. In Jefferson City, only the Walmart on Stadium near Missouri Boulevard will be giving out doses. 2 hospitals in Jefferson City received extra doses of the coronavirus vaccine today as part of the state's effort to speed up the rollout.
ABC 17's Connor Hirsch joins us live at Capital Region Medical Center after looking into where those doses are going to be going. Connor, some of those extra doses will be redistributed outside of the Jefferson City area.
And Deb Lucas, the state made the decision to put together a list of hospitals to give this nearly half of the state's weekly allocation of doses to in an effort to ramp up the speed of distribution. And leaders tell me that a big part of that is redistribution.
We're excited to be able to know that we're on the list to get more vaccine. We were a little bit disappointed maybe the fact that we're only getting it every 2 weeks.
The director of pharmacy services for Capital Region, Denny Hamilton, said they received 1,000 doses of the vaccine, which will be used in a mass vaccination event for the community, as well as for distributing across the region.
And really what we've done is kind of develop a good cohesive group of health departments, vaccine administrators in Central Missouri, and kind of had discussions with them as to really what they feel they could use.
And it's a similar story across town at SSM Health St. Mary's. A spokeswoman telling me while it will keep some of the doses for employees and patients, many will go to other hospitals and health departments. Dave Dillon with the Missouri Hospital Association tells me redistribution was one thing Governor Parsons' administration pushed for with this new system.
Frankly, hospitals have been, at 100%. Effort for almost a year. So any additional hands that we can get in this space is good. And, the more hands, the faster the work.
But again, it all comes down to supply.
The more that we get vaccine in the state, the better we're going to be, because we all want to be doing this all day, every day, if possible.
And Dillon said that they have heard of a small increase in the weekly allocation of doses coming from the federal government to the state, and that could lead